All right, now your AI receptionist bot is ready. You've built a product that you're proud of. Now, this is where the actual deal happens, right? Selling your product. So, this is the number one issue that I see with a lot of people. They think that if they just run some ads, spend a few $100 on some Meta ads or TikTok ads or Google ads, they will be able to get clients. And my answer to that is no, you're not going to be able to get clients spending a few $100 running ads. Okay, that's not going to happen. The audience for these products are very small. Okay, this is not like selling some fidget spinners that a lot of people buy. This is selling an AI receptionist for a local business that needs a 24/7 AI receptionist, and they don't even know if they need the 24-hour AI receptionist yet. Okay, so this is a very specific product that we're trying to sell, and running ads and expecting to get a sale after spending like a few $100, I don't think makes sense. So that's why I do not recommend, in my opinion, I don't recommend using ads to get clients in the initial phases of your business. So how do you get clients? You can go to Google Maps. There are many tools where you can extract data from Google Maps. So you can plug in Google Maps, the area you're in, and plug in, let's say you're searching for dentist clinics. So you plug all those data into the tool, and it gives you an Excel sheet with all these dentist clinics. I'm gonna put the link in the description of this video so that you can see how the tool works. But it pulls the data for all the, let's say, dentist clinics in your area, and then that way you have a list of 100 clinics you can call. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start calling these clinics and pitching our product to them. And when you start calling these dentist clinics, the number one issue you're gonna face is gatekeeping. How do you overcome this? You start calling more clinics. It's simple. Let's say you call 100 clinics. Maybe you manage to talk with 10 of the doctors, right? And from those 10 doctors, no one is interested. Good. Start calling 100 more. Start calling 1,000 more, because you have time, right? At this point of our business, we have time, but we don't have a lot of money to spend. So you want to do that. You want to call as many dentist clinics as you can. Remember, at this point, volume matters a lot. So I remember calling 400 dentist clinics a day to be able to book 1 or 2 demos, and just have that in your mind. It's not easy. People think if you make 10 calls a day, you'll be able to sell your product. No, that's not how this works. Just have in mind that you'll be spending a lot of time cold calling, and you better learn how to cold call. You better work on your cold calling skills, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to sell your product. And let's think about it. Even if you get a booking via running ads, you still need those selling skills to be able to actually sell your product and demo it, right? Which brings me to the next point, which is demoing your product. This is probably the most important thing once you get someone booked. Just think about it. You spend so much time, so much effort calling these businesses and finally getting someone to agree and see your demo. And then you get on the demo with them, but you're not able to sell the product. It's such a waste of time, right? And I've been there, I've done that. It's the worst thing in the world, right? So we want to be prepared for that. And how do you prepare? When you get onto the demo, you do not want to get nerdy and try explaining the code to them, or try to get too technical with them. Remember that doctor did not book the demo with you to see how smart you are. Okay, no one gives a shit about how smart you are, how proud you are of your product. No one gives a shit. The only thing they care about is how much more money you're going to bring to their business. So before you get on the call with them and demo your product, you want to make sure that you cover these very simple points. You want to show them the amount of calls they're missing. So before you start your demo, you ask them, okay, so how many calls do you think you're missing a day? And most of them will be like, maybe 3 calls a day. And then you ask them how many calls you're missing on the weekends. They'll probably give you a similar number. And then based on the value of each customer, you quickly do a calculation. I have a calculator that you can use that's specifically designed for this. I will put it down in the description below. So you can plug in the amount of calls they're missing, the booking rate that they have. You can just use a generic booking rate for dentist clinics, or you can ask them what's their booking rate. And then it'll give you the amount of money that they're missing each month. So let's say if they are missing 3 calls a day, that's about 90 calls a month, right? So from those, let's make it a round number, let's say 100 calls a month. They're missing 100 calls a month. From those 100 calls, if their booking rate from those calls is 20%, which is really, we're being really conservative here. But let's say their booking rate is 20% from those calls, right? And let's say the customer value from those bookings are, let's say, very conservative, $500, right? So that's about $10,000 that they're missing each month. So if you show them that $10,000 loss, and then you pitch your product, and then you give them the price for your product, which is like $500 a month, compare the $500 to the $10,000. Of course they will pay you the $500 if you're gonna bring them more money and bring them more customers. Of course, it's a no-brainer. That's why it's so easy to sell these products, right? But you wanna be able to communicate that to them very clearly, and you want to be actually proud of your product and confident in your product, that your product can actually deliver, right? So you want to communicate that to them. And once you get that drilled into the doctor's brain and they actually understand what your product does, then closing the deal becomes really easy. So those are some tips that I can give you, and could be some of the reasons that you're not getting as many sales as you would like. So maybe think about those ideas, try to implement them, and see if they gave you results. If you're already not doing those things, you've been wasting a lot of time. So go back to the drawing board, take some time to yourself, go back to the drawing board and actually understand why people need your product, okay? Because I got a comment the other day about, oh, my product is so good, I spent months building it, and like they were talking about the tools they're using and stuff. I'm like, dude, no one gives a shit about how you build your product. No one cares about how much time you spend building your product. No one literally gives a shit. The only thing they care about is how much more money you're gonna bring them. And you need to communicate that to them in your demo. And that's the only way to sell. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.